Even John Wick goes down sometimes, and like he's got to get back up. There's some time we know he's going to survive.
Yeah.
They want more money, more movies, but not one point in this movie does Jason Statham ever really go down, and you're like, oh shit, like what's going to happen? That doesn't happen here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And another thing is there's just too many plot points. Same thing as Beekeeper. I do think that the Beekeeper, if you're at home and you have nothing to do, Beekeeper over this. Beekeeper is much better than this, but this one is just it's silly. It's silly.
I don't even remember him getting hit.
Because holy schnickies, I mean, this movie is so bad.
So what's going on, man?
Oh man, just living, and I'm a working man, and that's what we're gonna talk about today. And oh man, working man, it's quite a film. So
yeah, our boy Jason Statham is back, the man of many jobs. All right, we see him as a mechanic. I don't know, have we seen him as a cleaner yet? I feel
he
like
was chasing sharks at one point too. He's all over the place.
Seen him as a driver, but now he's just a classic working man. So Jason Statham here, and man, I saw the trailer for this, and if you know Jason Statham, and I say this to people when I recommend movies, I'm like, you know what this is. When I saw Beekeeper, I walked out that movie and I said, look, you know what this is. If you go watch it, if you want to watch it, you're going to watch it and like it. Other than that, it's some nonsense, but it is what it is. But we got working man here. So let me set the stage. First of all, like the video. Hit the comments below. Let me know if you've seen it. Let me know what you thought about it. Of course, got to do that, but we got to talk about it. So let me set the stage here for working man. So our guy, Levin Cage, he's just a classic working man. He opens up, construction guy, nice guy, helping out people, of course. And then, some trouble happens. Some trouble happens on this construction site. Working man, he got to go deal with it. So obviously, some people come, Jason Statham, he's got some kind of background, some type of secret agent, military, special
Something's going on. Something's going on that we don't know about.
A guy that looks like
talk
this,
about it.
Yeah, a guy looks like this. He does something. So obviously, he takes care of business. And the daughter of the construction company, I got to get her name, but the daughter of the construction company says, hey, man, they appreciate you helping that out. So helps him out. Next thing you know, she goes out that night because she's the daughter of the construction company owner, got a little money, ends up getting kidnapped. And what do you know? The owner comes in and says, hey, Jason Statham, man, I know you're working, man, but I know you know some shit. I know you can get out there and help our daughter out and get her back. So Jason says, I don't want to go back to that life, but I made a promise that I have her back if I needed to. And the movie goes from there. Just start with you, man. First of all, what's your overall thoughts before you really hop into the review of this movie?
Oh, man, working man. Oh, man. Listen, you mentioned The Beekeeper before we get into this. The Beekeeper is a better film than this. And you have Josh Hutcherson acting like a fool. And unfortunately, The Beekeeper is a better movie than this. This is not a movie. This is a collage of Jason Statham-esque moments and scenes and characters that might be in a movie with him. In terms of the daughter, you mentioned her, Ariana Rivas, dímele mami que pasa, but when it comes to her character, you mentioned there's only really, a few scenes. We get this backstory and the movie kind of goes from there. That's the issue with this film. So just to kind of, before we go into it, we're not doing any spoilers yet, but The Beekeeper, in terms of a David Ayer 1 and 2 spot, The Beekeeper's taken that number 1 spot. This film is nowhere near as good. And that's not saying much, considering The Beekeeper is not a great film.
Yeah, so David Ayer is back to direct this. And actually, this was written, I don't know if you know this. This was written by
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, there you go.
Of course I know. It was a shit movie. Of course.
Who probably written it for himself to go out and do this same stuff. It's like, man, I'm kind of old. I need somebody to take the man. Jason Statham, you beat people up for a living? What are you doing? Come over here and play this role. So, yeah, like you said, this movie goes, and they give any kind of backstory. Yeah, he's got to go save his family. Of course, he has special ops. Of course, he has connections. Of course, he knows. And there's the thing about special ops. I feel like all these are cut and paste. Like, they're just perfectly cut for every situation they get into. It's like, I feel like some of this stuff, like, who trained you to do this? Like, not everyone trains you to go, infiltrate a cartel or these secret groups. I feel like special ops, you could just be out fighting terrorists or whatever. Like, that should be the norm. But these people know every particular skill to handle any situation. So I'm like, that right there starts out goofy. But of course, Girl gets kidnapped, and he has to go from there. And like you said, it's a bunch of fight scenes. It's a bunch of and the thing about Jay Statham in this movie, he has, and I say this about Jay Statham, he has zero emotion. Like this dude is going around killing people like this, like that. He's taking people out. He's beating people to a pulp. He's killing people, and his demeanor is like, oh, it's just Tuesday. Like he's the same demeanor killing people as he does on the construction site.
Yeah. There's no character. It's quite literally Jason Statham. And the worst part about the daughter that you mentioned there too is that the only scene we see of her is totally like a reshoot or spliced in, and it's only one scene we see where there's some connection with him and the character. If you are going to go see this movie, I'd advise you not to take a shot every time they say, "I'm going to bring her home," or "You're home," or "Let's go home." Take a shot, and you will probably find yourself 40 minutes into this movie and say, I really got to go. Oh man, working man. But it's not a lot going on in this film that really like sticks or has any meaning. A lot of it is just kind of spaghetti at the wall. There's this whole subplot about this drug trade and Demi. And trust me, you're not going to like Demi. They hype him up. They hype him up. He's not that great. So when it comes to this movie, there's just so many pieces, and the difference between this and The Beekeeper is really that this, like the only difference is that this didn't know how to plug some lines in and was way more boring. This movie was way too long. It was way too bloated. I don't recommend seeing it. Again, take a shot every time they say, I'm going to bring her home, I'm home, or let's go home. And that's what I kept saying in this theater during this film. Let's go home.
Well, you know what Jason said, and I'm talking about Beekeeper for a quick second. You know how these movies go. They start with some low-level thing, like somebody a scam, or a drug deal, or kidnapping, and somehow these things work their way up to every government across the world has some kind of input. And let me, because we got all the tropes here: biker gang, drug cartel, secret round table of people that we don't know, but they run some type of mafia, the police, the government. Like, it just can't be a simple kidnapping. With the days of Liam Neeson, where you just get kidnapped and it's a little ring that does kidnapping, and once you get to the top of that, it's like, okay, those days are gone. You can't just have a kidnapping ring these days. They had to be connected to, and we went to Beekeeper, the White House. Literally, we got all the way to the White House from a simple phone scam.
Yeah, the problem with this film is kind of, it feels like a video game. Like he's the working man, oh man, working man, and he's going around in these little side quests. Even the thing at the beginning with the cartel is so minimal. It's only like 2-3 minutes of screen time. It's just to see in slow-mo Zack Snyder motion of some type of like nails getting thrown out of a bucket. It's so silly. There's so much going on in this movie. It's just not something that has any plot lines that really connect too well. And one thing that David Ayer does exactly in The Beekeeper is the final fight is Jason Statham versus someone who's extremely huge, just like the biker guy, extremely huge, just like the guy who's has the yellow jacket when he's in the end of The Beekeeper, the Australian dude. And there's just no fight. It's just such a quick ending. And like they pull the knives out in this movie, and the working man, he's like, all right, you ready, man? He's like, this wasn't my fight, brother. Like, we're gonna get into this, and like, this wasn't my fight, whatever. He's like, we're gonna do it. And then like it's over in a second. It's the movie is so bad, like glaringly bad, that I usually don't get up when I go to movies. I like to sit there the whole time. I made excuses to get up. Like, this movie is not good. There's just so many things going on. And David Ayer, like, The Beekeeper's like a decent movie. It's decent. But when it comes to this film, there's just so much going on. And it's like, who sat in the studio and said, this is great, let's put this out? Like, whose idea with that? Because it just was not a smart idea. And there's so much going on. I would have rather, again, I think I said this about Mickey 17, but seeing this fleshed out in like a mini series. Like, there's so much crap going on in this film, you lose track. And at the end, where the girl flicks off the spoiler, when the girl flicks off everything as she walks away from the home and they drive away in the motorcycle, it's so cheesy. It's like out of nowhere. There's so many subplots. I could go on forever about the subplots, and I think David Ayer could too, but that's the problem with this film. Someone needed to stop him. Sylvester Stallone maybe had the idea of the biker gang and then the cartel, and then David Ayer was like, but we need a plot about someone getting stolen. And last thing I'll say, because I'm on a rant here, and
Yeah.
telling you why not to go see this movie. But listen, Jason Fleming, who plays the Russian guy, he's great. He's definitely fun to watch. But Michael
Yeah.
Pena, that's some of the worst acting I've ever seen in my life from him. Like you could tell he didn't care, even in the crying scenes and anything. Oh my gosh. There's even a scene where he's drinking tequila and then he tells Jason Statham, he's like, "Are you gonna bring her home?" And he's like, "I'm gonna bring her home." And I'm like, I need to go home. Like this movie is so bad. Like I'll say this because you can clip this right here. I saw this movie 2 weeks ago. I still vividly remember how bad it is. It's such a terrible film. It's just not a movie.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, Michael Pena, that scene. It's early. It's early in the movie where he's supposed to be emotional. He's supposed to be crying and he can't cry.
He's like this.
He
He
can't get
goes
it
like
out.
this when he gives them the money. He's like, "Here, take this for our daughter. Take this." And it's like, bro, there's no emotion. Like, there's no.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
even know why
trying.
he was in the movie. I really don't. You could have replaced him with any other actor. It was so bad. I'm looking at the cast. Oh my god! Then David Harbour's in this movie. What the heck is he
Yeah, they
doing in this
are. Oh,
movie?
yeah, we got the hip. Yeah, so I
His
was gonna get
character's great. He's a highlight. Not to cut you off. He's a
yeah.
highlight. Let's build on that because everything else about this movie is not good, right? But David Harbour, thank God he's in this movie. But there's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is almost like you talk about piling stuff on. This is like 30-second commercial level writing where they don't have to explain anything. They're just trying to throw a bunch of stuff in and keep your attention for 30 seconds and they pile all this stuff on.
Mhm.
It's like commercial level writing, but throughout a movie. And I was gonna say that the crazy characters. You talk about David Harbour, he's a I guess a now blind assassin, but he has all these like weapons, and I'm like, this is not a formal special ops guy.
And when
This
he's
is a
walking
formal
around the
like
crib, he's like
he's Deadshot.
this gun right here, you can't find this anywhere. He's like, this is for you, beekeeper. I'm like, all right, what movie are we watching?
It's like he's not a special ops guy. He's Deadshot with the amount of weapons he has in there. He's a superhero basically. And then
And he's blind. Who
yeah,
get like no, if you're blind, you're blind. He served the country. God bless David Harbour in that movie, whatever was it, Beekeeper or Working Man. The character he plays, it's just like there's no really context of them. They try to build this relationship that like, oh, you saved my life, man. Like, okay,
which
tell us more.
also I'm wondering how that works because one's from America and one's from Britain. So how much were they working together really in the military? I guess it's possible,
We
but
don't hear anything about the
it's
military.
like
It's like special ops, then it's not special ops, then it's like
yeah, they act like they were in the service together, like serving the whole time. That's kind of that relationship that they're betraying, and it's like that wouldn't be possible because you're fighting for two different countries, even though
mhm,
you may work together at some point. But yeah, but also he has a
it's
Bluetooth.
ridiculous.
Yeah, he's blind, but he does have a Bluetooth scope, so you don't have to worry about it because he doesn't have to aim. He can still kill people with his gun. But not only him, the one guy you talked about that J. Sam has a fight scene with, there's this biker gang guy. And I don't know if you'll remember this. So he goes to this biker gang to get some information for tracking down people. He walks in. This dude has a throne of motorcycle parts put together with and he's sitting up there, and I'm like, why is it? It's almost like Game of Thrones where all the swords. Like it's a throne of motorcycle parts. I'm like, what is going on with this movie? It is absolutely insane. And of course, that guy too is like, you were in the service. Me too, brother. Me too. After he beats up his whole crew. Oh my god. The characters in this movie are so crazy, so ridiculous. The twins, the two fashion guys who after he just stated that he in the commercial he takes out their uncle. He has these two twins who are also running
Oh
the cartel. Yeah, the
yes,
two
yes.
Russian guys. They're in like the characters in this movie are absolutely crazy. There's no fleshing them out. The people who do the kidnapping, they're like everyone's crazy to the point where like if everyone's crazy, no one's crazy because it's just like what's next? A clown? Dude's dressed up like a clown, and it's like, oh, I also do money laundering.
Exactly. And then the whole subplot of like, there's some really good building points like that get to where we're kind of seeing him be more of a spy and detective. I really like that. There's definitely some good scenes where he's finding the guy at the bar and figuring out what's going on. There's some detective aspect, but all these other characters that we go on to, they're supposed to like come all together, but all the characters all over the place, it's hard to follow. Like you're naming characters, I even was like, oh, those guys, because there is kind of a
Yeah,
subplot with them. They're the assistants, or yeah, the assistants
yeah,
of the one Russian guy, but then they're brothers. We don't know. They do kind of get him at one point in the movie. There's so much going on. Like I don't know about you, but this movie felt forever. This movie felt like
yeah.
forever, and it was only what 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Was it even that long? It didn't even feel like 2 hours. I have to check the runtime. It might
An
around
hour
two
and
hours, but
56 minutes.
yeah, I was
So
like, it didn't even feel like 2 hours, but it was like a
mhm.
kid that didn't have his Ritalin. It was just like all over the place. It's like, dang man, like give us something, calm down and explain some of this. But it's just like no, Jason Statham, typical action movie, beekeeper-ish, but more ridiculous. And also, I talk about this one shot. There's near the end of this movie, it turns nighttime. Did you notice that the moon in the background was like 1/4 of the screen?
Oh yeah,
Like
that was so bad.
it
Yeah.
almost looked like the moon was a character. Like I was waiting for the moon to hop out, like, hey, Jason, like, let me help you out here. Because it's so close to the screen. It's like, I don't care where you are. The moon is not that big. It's like
hmm
it's taking up half the sky.
hmm
Oh, and it's crazy, man. One thing I will say, and I guess I'll wrap my part first and I'll let you close out. This movie is ridiculous. I do like ridiculous movies. So if you are sitting at home and you like, I got nothing to watch, you see this on, it's enough. It will keep your attention. It's enough to be like, this is so crazy. I just want to see where it goes. I want to see what happens next. I know Jay Statham's not going to lose a fight, like you said.
hmm
The biggest fights he wins in 2 seconds. Like it really doesn't matter. But it's enough craziness where like Beekeeper, I'm like, I just got to see what they pull out next. Like, what else do you have in the tank? You know what I'm saying? Like, what other moves do you have to make? It's crazy enough for us to sit through that, but this movie had no business being in theater. The box office here, I'm looking at it, $40 million budget. It's at 36 million right now, so it still hasn't made that, let alone start actually making money or paying for its advertising. So
hmm
it has failed. And
It's
David
shot.
Ayer
Yeah.
still
It's yeah.
still, I don't know, knows how to competently put a movie together after the last two I've seen from him. But I would say for me, if this came on at home, I had a couple beers, hanging out with some friends, I could probably watch it and laugh at it being silly. 2 hours in the theater cannot do it. So it was a minor league movie for me, which is don't pay for it. Go ahead.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're going to pay for anything, take a shot every time they say, "I'm going to bring her home, welcome home," or "Let's go home." Something along those lines. You'll have a great time, and you can drink at home, watch it on streaming. I personally don't recommend watching this film. I think it is a kind of a waste of time. Fury is a much better movie. That's kind of where it seems like David Ayer peaked. I'm a big fan though of the Suicide Squad movie. Big fan of that movie, I will say. So there's an interesting lane that he's in. Some people like that lane. I just think there's a problem when Jason Statham looks invincible. Even John Wick goes down sometimes, and like he's got to get back up. There's some time we know he's going to survive.
Yeah.
They want more money, more movies, but not one point in this movie does Jason Statham ever really go down. And you're like, oh shit, like what's going to happen? That doesn't happen here,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And another thing is there's just too many plot points. Same thing as Beekeeper. I do think that the Beekeeper, if you're at home and you have nothing to do, Beekeeper over this. Beekeeper is much better than this, even though Beekeeper is not a great movie. Again, shout out David Ayer because I love Suicide Squad, Fury, some other good movies, but this one is just it's silly. It's silly.
I don't even remember him getting hit.
I'm so glad I saw Mickey 17 before seeing Oh Man, Working Man, because if I didn't, I wouldn't understand how great of a film Mickey 17 is. Because holy schnickies, I mean, this movie is so bad. I'm serious.
I'm just saying if he surround like it reminded me. Did you see the second Jack Reacher with Tom Cruise?
No, I haven't seen any of those films though.
Okay, the first
Yeah.
one is good. It feels very grounded. The second one is basically just a tough man complex where he's doing stuff like he walks to a guy like they're trying to kill him, punches through the window, takes his gun, unloads it, and throws it back in the car. And it's like the guy would just put the gun back together and shoot him. But because he hit him so hard, he doesn't do that. Like it's
Mhm.
like that where like no one can touch this guy. Everyone wants to fight him one-on-one. No one wants to just jump him, even though he's beating everybody up piece by piece. It's
You're
just
right.
like,
There's a scene, not to cut you off, where all the biker guys are around him, and then it's like
yeah,
choreography. Choreographer.
choreography.
How would it say
Choreography.
chore? Yeah, choreographed, but
Oh, choreographed.
choreographed. It would be
Choreographed. That's
choreographed.
the word.
Shout out to my English teacher helping me enunciate. Listen, it would be choreographed, and that way that like it was like he's taking them one on one. Like it just was so silly. It was cool. The hand on hand action's good, but it's nowhere near the level of like a John Wick or what's another really good action movie? Like it's not as bad as like Christopher Nolan where everything's shaky cam. Like there's some good action, some like good
Yeah.
shots, but some of it is just so boring. Like
And,
you don't see him go down. There's not
and
one
you
time
also,
he's shanked or anything. Even
it's
in
also,
Captain America, Giancarlo Esposito shanks him, and we see like, we're like,
yeah,
oh
you
my
can get
gosh,
hurt.
like he gets hurt. At that point, no matter how that movie wasn't amazing, you're like, oh wow, the main character is down a little bit. There's not one point in this movie that happens,
It's
and
also,
that's not fun. That
it's
doesn't make
also,
Jason Statham movies fun.
it's also a bar. You feel like at least somebody behind him's gonna take a glass bottle and hit him in the head. Like
Or
we
shoot
get
him
that,
from the distance or something. Like, what is
we
going
get
on?
that
Like,
every movie.
it's Stormtrooper. And also, we could go on for hours about how bad this movie is. At least I can. But there's a
Yeah.
point where he's riding away on the motorcycle and it's all Stormtrooper aim. They're like, no one can hit him, not one time. Oh
You know,
my
you
gosh.
know
There's a
what's
point where he hits a tree or something that flips off, but
yeah,
it's just so silly. It's so silly. Beekeeper was.
it was better.
Here's my final
Not,
grade. I'll
not
close out at this.
go ahead,
I'll
go
close
ahead.
out at this. Beekeeper is a movie that is a 5 out of 10 movie, maybe even less. This one is like a 2 out of 10. This is not a good film. Like if you watch spurts of it, like if it was like maybe broken up into different parts, like there's a good 15, 20-minute stretch, but some of it is just so outrageous. I'll be really nice. I'll go 3.5 out of 10. 3.5 out of 10 on this. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right,
What I say for Mickey, I don't remember what I said for Mickey. Whatever I said for Mickey, I might have to change that now. This, oh
or just
man,
put that
working
in the
man.
third.
Yeah.
Oh
But
man, yeah, no, this is definitely, like I say, you know what this is. If you want to see it, you know what you're expecting. You know what you're gonna give. You want to see an mindless action movie, Jason Statham and David Ayer combo. Maybe we got to get them apart, but together, that's what you're gonna get. So minor league
mhm.
for me. 3.5 out of you. I was going to mention one more scene where he's spying on people and he's just sitting behind a tree. And it's like that tree doesn't cover up anything.
Oh
And they're
my
just like, oh, he's right there.
gosh.
He's like, dang it. And I'm just like, what? You could clearly see through the tree. So you know they can see you through the other side.
And one thing they use over and over is kind of the night vision. They use it over and over and over. And the best part is it must be that everyone has the same gadgets because the night vision is the same for Jason. It's the same
Yeah.
for everyone. Like they all have the same night vision plugin or software. It's such a joke. I mean, this movie is so silly. Clip all this because it's true. This movie's silly. Watch this review, but don't waste your time with this movie. That's what I'll say.
There you go. We did it for you. They didn't want to get another camera. So
Yeah.
there you go. As we got for Working Man. Tristan, people want to find you on the regular. They want to find you. Where can they look you up at?
I'm just a working man. So, I don't have any socials, nothing like that. If you want to follow anything, follow the MLF HQ. That's where you want to catch all the minor league films, content, MLF HQ, and subscribe if you love MILF. We love it. So, minor league films, baby.
Yeah,
Let's
man.
go.
We are starting to cook. We got a lot coming to you. So definitely do that. Want to find me, socials will be below, but there's minor league films everywhere. And then Corona Comics on TikTok, where we have our shorts and more short content. If you got a shorter attention span, you're like, I just want to get in, get out. We got you right there. So make sure you do that. Subscribe, sub to the channel, like the video, all that good stuff. We will catch you next time.
And don't be a working man.